All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 3, going to be between the 3-1 Coffee House and the 2-2 Pot of Greed. I'm Agent at Zero, joined here by Thrifty Senpai bringing the action. And I think we're just about good to head into draft here. So, first thing to notice, Dub Drum not going to be available for Coffee House this week, so they are bringing in their sub, King of Nigs. Assuming that's going to be a pretty substantial downgrade. Dub Drum's been pretty good this season. King of Nigs is Silver 5.
Dub's been very good this season. Pretty clearly the second best jungler in the league across all the games.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that's even debatably close, and he's a lot better than the bottom 4 junglers.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as good as Master Splinter, but a lot better than the other 4 junglers.
And that's a huge thing, and he's had a lot of presence on that, and he's been a big part of why this Coffee House team has had a lot of success. I mean, obviously, they're a pretty solid team overall.
The only thing that really worries me about this team, though, is I have to assume Dub Drum's a really big part of the comms, and I can't, I don't, unless Sensory GG is some big communicator we don't know about, which I'm not going to put my money on with him being a rookie.
Yeah.
I could imagine this team having nothing for comms.
I imagine comms were ran by Dub and Salvo. I could totally see this being a Dub Salvo ran team.
I don't want to give Salvo that kind of credit, but I think you're right. But Salvo, Cruz, Mad Cow, those are not the guys I think of as strong communicators. So that could make this a very interesting game.
The thing is, Salvo plays well off of other people. If someone else engages him and asks, then he plays well off other people.
Yes.
But when he doesn't have, this probably could be a situation where I see them not having the person who's their primary voice.
So surprising to no one. Pot of Greed dropping their first 2 bans on the Mad Cow. Don't think that'll be the last of the bans he draws. And on the other side, really proud of the boy, Purple Pickle Pie. Recently picked up the top lane Jarvan and already drawing a ban on it. He was literally just messaging me this week about how awesome Jarvan is. And not a huge surprise. The Jinx going to come through and Salvo immediately going to first pick.
Salvo, as long as that champ is remotely viable and open in SBL, Salvo will always play that champion. He adores Jinx, and he's very effective on it.
Yeah, and if your plan is, hey, Dub's not here, I gotta step up and just hard carry, you can't carry a whole lot harder than Jinx does. Pot of Greed has the right answer. They are picking the Vi with their first rotation, which, for anyone that maybe hasn't been paying attention, Pot of Greed's been switching things up a lot week to week, but last week was the first time they tried Frisky Senpai in the jungle, and he did play that Vi last week. It was pretty effective, 6-1 and 11 on it.
Vi's just a really effective champion in general for, when you're worried about, it's okay, we just need to see, somewhat useful. It's point-click alt locks people up. I mean...
Yeah, Jinx ain't walking out of that one.
No.
Then can use their second pick.
Tarek.
Yeah, that's new. Not something we see a lot of.
That's something we don't see a lot. I am excited to watch the Tarek though. Failed Destiny can pull out some pretty solid Tarek play. Makes me happy. Janna Swain coming out from Coffee House here. Swain's 100% cruise mid.
Yep, absolutely. He played that last week, 7-0-15. Yeah, why is
Swain is a perfect champ for what Cruz wants to do. Cruz is he just plays really passively in the laning phase, and he scales super hard.
Yeah, and I actually from a comp perspective, that and the Janna, which Sensory GG has played twice this season, those are really good picks to combo with the Jinx, because the Swain is a tough champ to walk through, and the Janna is going to offer a lot of peel. Those two are going to give Salvo a lot of opportunity to get off mad DPS. And so Pot of Greed are going to answer by picking more point-click CC, with Memenomics taking Twisted Fate. That's going to be interesting.
I'll be watching very closely for that one. I think TF's really good right now, actually. He's really good in SBL in general as well.
Yeah, that just strikes me.
But you have to be very careful. with
a
playing
very
him.
dangerous champ for Memenomics to be playing.
Yeah.
He's not the kind of 30, they can't hear you, right? Alright, I won't repeat that. So that'll stay between us.
Yeah.
So 7 top lane bans.
Yeah.
Mad Cow doesn't play a top lane Kha'Zix I should know about, does he?
No, that's at the King. Their new
Okay.
jungler.
Yeah, 7 top lane bans. That is a very rare thing in the SBL.
Yeah. I mean, these are the 2 best top laners in the league.
Oh yeah.
So, and when you're not dropping any bans, like if you look at this team, it's like okay, so the big 3 people in Coffee House were Dub, Scarlet, and this Salvo. If you're not gonna drop any bans on AD carry, and Dubdrum's not there, so you throw the whole fucking kitchen sink at the top lane, and you just see what happens.
What is this? Scarlet is picking up the Poppy, unless that's gonna be real crazy in the jungle. But when did he turn into a tank player? You know, he's played Maokai once this season. Now he's playing Poppy.
Maybe he just like realizes he can role fill on this team, and they can get a lot done. Yeah, that is gonna be a Poppy.
I mean, it makes sense given this comp. You've already got a Swain and a Jinx. Like, it's probably a good idea to play a tank. He's evolved in his 2nd season, man. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
So, rounding out the draft, purple going to go with the Shen. So this is like when you get so excited to see Impact and Flame play each other in the LCS, and then they just pick 2 tanks and don't do anything all game.
Honestly, I am honestly really bummed about this top lane matchup. I guess they got a lot of their big ones pulled away from each of them, but I was really excited to see a really solid lane against them, and they're just gonna farm a lot.
Yeah, gonna set up their carries. There's a lot of ways that Salvo could have a bad time in this game.
Yeah, Salvo's gonna have to be very careful. His positioning is gonna have to be on point. Otherwise, there's a lot of things that will hit him like a freight train. I am just like so. I have no clue about like how this game's gonna play out. I'm so curious.
Yeah, I feel like it's.
I imagine Pot of Greed's probably favored though. Like without Dub, I feel like that's gonna be a huge hit for Coffee House.
Yeah, I think that's the deciding factor here. Just out of the draft is I got to give it to the team playing. You know, arguably missing their best player. Like you definitely make a case for 3 of the 5 players on Coffee House, but I think if I had to, I would slightly give it to Dubdrum as the most important player on that team.
Probably the most. I would say maybe not the best, but the most important is what I would agree with. Especially in this matchup, where a good jungler could easily turn around how that top lane goes.
Yeah, and a good jungler could also be really important because you're going to need to predict where that Twisted Fate wants to go and be there for some counter ganks.
Yes.
I'm not going to expect that out of King of Nix, to say the least.
No. I will comment as well, though. I'm excited. Is this the first time that Century GG's had Janna?
No, this is the 3rd time, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes, 3rd time.
That is like his best champion by far.
Yeah, he just played it last week, so we've seen it recently, and I agree. He's looked good on it. It's perfect pick for Salvo as well because like Salvo's not playing to bully lane ever. He is very content just to go match CS and then be, Jinx in late game. Get excited once and end the game.
Get excited. Excited the game's about to end. All right. Almost done with the 2nd round of picks and bans, so then we get to make our way into that 3-minute waiting game.
Yeah, so one matchup we haven't talked about at all yet. It feels so weird. We made it through the entire draft and the redraft before we got here, but Cameron, he's been a pretty big storyline this season because he has been, spotty, to be honest. The only game Cameron has won was last week when Pot of Greed beats One Trick Bronies, and at this point, beating one trick bronies isn't really an accomplishment; it's an expectation.
Yes. Unfortunately, one trick bronies for that squad. They are off to the undesirable 0-5 start for the first half of the split.
Yeah, and Cameron just hasn't looked that good this season. It's been really surprising. Other than the first 10 minutes of his first game, he has been okay.
Yeah.
And it isn't going to get any easier going up against Salvo.
Yeah, no. So, like, throughout this, Salvo and the Mighty Wolf have been looking like the best AD carries.
Yeah, I was really thinking earlier, this is really reminiscent of the old school, like way back in the first few splits of the SBL, when AD carry was kind of the deepest position in the league. And I think AD carry is probably the best position in the SBL right now. I think Salvo, Cammer, Mighty Wolf, Gabe O'Neill have all been super good ADCs this season.
I would agree.
And you can definitely imagine on the right team, any of them being the best carry in the league.
Yeah. So that's something that you always have to keep in mind in the SBL is people's teammates. Because being on the right team can just make you look so much better or so much worse when you're either a weak player or a strong player.
And it's really funny to me that rounding out this first round robin, Salvo's played Jinx twice, and it'll be against Cammer and Mighty Wolf. If Salvo was writing the storyline, that's how it would go. It's like, I played against the time in 80 carries, and they gave me Jinx.
And then he's gonna, especially if he crushes this lane, we're never gonna hear the end of it, actually.
Oh, I know, it'll be awful. And I hope he doesn't crush this lane, because you have no business crushing Caitlyn Tarek as Jinx Jammer.
Yeah. No, that is correct.
So we'll see, though. Salvo, he's really a master of losing lane, playing a losing lane gracefully and just going even in CS. And all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, Salvo never fell behind like he was supposed to in this matchup. And then he gets that big triple kill fight and goes off. But it's going to be hard because POG definitely baited that pick. And then by Twisted Fate, Tarek are going to do everything they can just to walk at Salvo all game.
Yep.
So, AD carry is definitely the matchup to watch for me, but if there's one pick to watch, it's going to be Memenomics on that Twisted Fate.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here where there's going to be a lot of pressure on Pickle Pie and Memenomics to be working well together, and when they both, for, the right time for them to go in together so they can, create a 4v2 bot lane and just crush it, or where you only need one of them to ult so the other one doesn't, and they don't overcommit, 4 people onto one person when they only need to send one. Good communication and good play with them will greatly affect how this game plays out.
Yeah, that's going to be a big deal, and I'm hesitant to think Memenomics is going to be able to play that well because I think he's been very, very underwhelming this season. There was a moderate amount of hype on him heading into things. And I thought he, in the jungle at least, had been one of the worst players in the league. He was a lot better as Corki last week, but still just a one-game sample size, and Twisted Fate's going to have a bit harder of a go button than a Corki does. Like Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility.
Uncle Ben. Frisbee.
Rip in peace, man. No, Spider-Man's uncle, dude. Jesus guy. Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Dude, can we get Uncle Ben as a sponsor for the SBL?
I don't know, man. I was always more of a... I was not a Rice-A-Roni guy.
Dude, no, he's not the Rice-A-Roni, dude. He's the Insta Rice, the wild rice and shit. No, I don't think he's Rice-A-Roni, is he?
I think he's Rice-A-Roni,
does he also have Roni?
I don't know, man. If you're buying, that Uncle Ben rice bullshit, you gotta get that shit in the 20-pound bags or you're a bitch, man.
Nah, he just sells boxed rice, dude.
Yeah, dude, fuck boxed rice, man. You get the great value 20 pounds of rice
for $8, and then you have food for months.
I will be serving that bag to my grandkids.
Yeah, dude. No, that's the best way to eat on a budget. You just go, you're like, go to your like local go to your local market, or even better if you have like a tiny little Asian one, go to that because it's gonna be even cheaper. And you just go and you get the biggest goddamn bag of rice you can, and you pay like $10 for it.
You go to Walmart and do that. Even you don't gotta have an Asian market.
That's true.
I live in small town Wisconsin, so I don't know how many Asian people we have in this city. Probably not enough to sustain their own market.
You have a college, so probably like a couple hundred. But other than that, like 7.
Yeah, dude. So we go to the great American staple, Walmart.
God bless Wally World.
30, stop shouting memes. No one can hear you.
I wanted to imagine that he was just like unmuting himself just to spout memes and then remuting himself.
I figured if he was doing that, he would have like responded in a way that made that clear. So I was kind of just trying to bait that answer out of him because I was actually starting to wonder. But now we know.
Yep. And now we're in game, so you know, Uncle Ben be damned.
How do you feel about Cruisemaster taking Ignite in mid lane?
Fuck him up. Burn him down. No, I think that's fine. I mean, Swain has a lot of like dot damage, so if you're not used to playing against Swain, especially, like you can just drop people from a fairly large health, just where they're like, oh, they flash and they think they're safe, and they have Ignite ticking, and they totally forget that his E is ticking on him as well.
And they ain't safe.
Also, this is like the most Swain we've seen in the Swain League of all the seasons. Like, I'm really confused by this.
Yeah, dude, it took us rebranding to the Rise Baddie League, but we finally got our Swain.
Oh shit! But now we don't see Rise anymore. That's why.
Rip in peace.
Yep. I think people are tired of alerting him for like 14th time.
Because he's bad, man. Unless you're like LCS caliber, I don't think he's any good. And even if you're LCS caliber, like
especially after that nerf.
Yeah, and even if you are LCS caliber, like you already had to be like fucking Bjergsen to make it good.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, if you're LCS caliber and you're in the same Baddie League, there's champions you can carry way harder on.
What are the worst 4 teammates you think you could give Bjergsen where he'd still win the SBL?
I feel like this is gonna have to be something like, I don't know. I'm excited. We have to think about that later.
Yeah, that's that could be an award at the end of the season. The Bjergsen line might not have been the best, but you were the Bjergsen line.
Yep. Also, we got some shit talk already coming into this game. Oh, I love this BM.
Memenomics, I appreciate the BM, but eventually you have to have some good games before you're allowed to keep shit talking.
Yeah.
And Memenomics, you have not earned the right to fuck Salvo's bitch. Like, when Dub shit talks, it's great. That guy's a 2-time champion. Like, he's good every season, no matter how shitty his teammates are. Memenomics has got the fucking sombrero and the maracas. He's doing the fucking mariachi dance to the Clown Fiesta. He's like the Rain Man, but he brings on the fucking shitty League of Legends and Mexican music. I don't know why I just assumed like the cloud's Mexican, but I did.
I don't know, but I was like, when you bring out the rain, it's like the old like the Scar Mariachi band meme. It's like that.
That's a good summary of what it's been like watching Memenomics play. It's just that Scar Mariachi meme.
Oh man.
Alright, so we are actually in the game.
Yeah, we're a solid 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, nothing's happening because it's fucking level 1 League of Legends. Salvo and Sensory are pushing this bot lane because Cam or Destiny went for a really long leash. I'm actually really surprised. I would not, like, I know it's a meme, I don't like giving my junglers an advantage, but I would not have stayed that long to help a jungler if I was a Caitlyn Taric lane, because setting up at level 1 is such a huge part of that lane.
Yeah.
Especially against Jinx Janna.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to let Jinx Janna get the push in, because that's all the Jinx Janna lane harasses mostly through autos, and if he's got to see us, If he has got to hit more minions than you do, he's not going to be able to auto-harass as much.
Ooh, big snare goes down the mid lane. Cruz Master gonna drop
There's
the
Ignite.
auto, and there it is. Ding dog down, Cruz Master.
The young Cruz saying, "Welcome to mid lane. Here's my Ignite."
Fuck, man, that's gonna be big. That is so early to die in this mid lane and lose a ton of CSs. Cruz is gonna just barely get this wave under turrets in time.
And that's really... Oh, but we also have Vi coming in for a gank.
Oh, the taunt goes down onto the Mad Cow. He's not going to be able to flash. Well, no, he is maybe going to flash. Frisky somebody has to flash the follow. And there comes the Q out of Mad Cow, dropping down as much damage as he can on the chase. But Purple finally gets the auto. Puts his team on the board.
Yep, they'll get turned around. But that's really rough.
Oh!
Oh my goodness, this game is everything I ever wanted. Double lift? Double lift? Is that you?
King of Nigs, welcome to the SBL. Man, you have to have a name like King of Nigs to die to a jungle camp.
Double lift died to jungle camp
on
Double LCS. Lift?
Yeah, that's different though. The LCS is not as... They're not the expectations in the LCS.
That's true. But yeah. Oh man. Down goes the Hecker and blue buff. This game.
Have we ever had an SBL season where multiple people have died in the jungle camps? Because this is the second with Wang having done it already.
This is definitely a highest occurrence.
Twice in the first round robin, man. That's absurd.
This is great. This game's got it all though. We had a high early gank on the top lane. Flash is blown. So like actually interesting play. First blood going down on the mid lane. People dying in jungle camps.
Not even going back for that red buff because he knows he can't handle it. So he's going for Cameron instead, who has to flash out early. Now failed Destiny was snared. Oh, but two members walk onto the Caitlyn traps. They botched that fight horribly, and now the creeps are going to force Salvo out of the fight.
Oh, Mina now is taking a lot of damage again in this mid lane. Cruz establishing some real solid dominance here.
This is such a weird early game, and Purple hasn't been able to back yet because Mad Cow spawned and back, and now he's like scared to lose CS the turret, so he's playing with first blood gold on him.
Yeah.
A huge health disadvantage.
Oh, man.
This is so clowny.
I love it.
I think Century GG just lost Cruz to CS.
Yeah. You mean Salvo, though? But yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he did. That is correct.
So, man, I watch bot lane. I remember the 3 years I played with Cruz every game.
It's just like, engraved. See support, it's Cruz. It's synonymous.
It's literally PTSD.
Was it really that bad?
No, it was great, but it was, stressful. We never won.
That's fair.
Except for every non-SBL we did. We won every single one of those.
The SBL curse.
Oh well, you gotta make trades in life. And Cameron getting knocked up, but Salvo under a lot of damage. Both AD carries pop their heals, and this is a really weird engage in the bot lane.
Yeah. Alright. A lot of things that have happened in this game, I would not have expected a lot of them.
Yes, very unpredictable starts.
Yeah. We do have a surprisingly large lead already established for out of greed though. Like almost 1,000 gold.
Yeah, they've got
That's bot lane and top.
Oh, the snare goes down on a Miminomic, so the Ignite immediately going down. Cruz not quite gonna get that kill though.
I'm surprised he didn't go in for a little deeper. He just threw the card, and he had flash. So he could have stuck around a little longer. He just needed like 2 or 3 more bird procs.
Also, while we have a check on those gold leads, if we pop up gold, Frisky Senpai is currently up about 400 gold on King and Eggs in the jungle.
That makes sense, though. You lose a lot of gold in the jungle if you die early. Like, it was Hecarim who didn't get to clear with his blue buff.
Yeah, there is a cost to dying in the jungle.
Yeah.
It's being very ineffective, but King and Egg's gonna try to fix that as he's charging this bot lane, but he gets stunned. Cameron is gonna get out.
Yep.
But Cameron and Destiny are playing this bot lane super well. They got to the lead that they should have in that matchup. We'll see
they do have the summoner advantage towards Salvo Sentry, but Other than that, though, like, Camera Destiny looking really sharp here. Had a nice CS lead generated.
Yeah, and he's been ganked twice as well. So he can be pretty happy with where he's at.
Yeah.
But Cruz has enough gold to buy whatever he would like on this first back, assuming he's going to go into BF and something.
You mean Camera?
No, Salvo. Because Salvo's basing right now. So like, it wasn't like it forced any awkward base timings.
No, Salvo, yeah, it looks like they're both going to get fairly similar backs. Salvo opting to also pick up a control ward.
You learned that from me.
Warding is a team job. So
it's a team job, and I taught him how to be a team player.
Unfortunately, it's like Cruz is not going to be able to get second blue here.
Why? What? What? Yeah,
the King, he's too far behind. Like, he is super far behind on Hecarim.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What? The young Cruz Master has a kill, man.
Yeah.
I do not agree with that.
I would also say that as well. I mean, this does give him a chance to get back into it, but yeah, no, that's... Play to your strengths. Cruz is looking really good in this mid lane right now.
Yeah, that's really bad.
And you really do like having blue against TF because it lets, like, on a champ like Swain, where you can just spam all of your spells, try to keep him at, like, a decent health where he can't look for the gate option. And also just, also the match is wave clear, because TF does have a lot better wave clear than Swain.
Yeah, Swain's just a mana horn in general. Like, the ult just chews through mana pools. Man, Salvo has been stepping onto a lot of these traps.
Yeah. Dude, they're cupcakes. They're really tasty. Oh, looks like Frisky Senpai and the King of Nigs are going to run into each other over in the Tribe Rush, but nothing going to come of it. TF and Swain looking to go down. We might have a party in the bot lane.
Yeah, watch out. Shen can join this. Oh, King of Nigs going in 1v2 away from his team. It has the ult defensively. Really botched kind of engage there.
Yeah. That was a thing. Oh, but we see Miminomix trying to be sneaky here. But not really the greatest time to be sneaky with where the wave is at. That's a lot of time to invest where you have that large of a wave pushing against you in mid. So.
Man, for the way this game started, we haven't had anything happen in a few minutes.
Yeah, no. For like how exciting the first like 5 to 6 minutes were, these last few have been. The fight was amusing. I got a laugh out of it.
Salvo's going for a kill here. Oh, but he steps onto another trap, and then he eats the Terex stun. He gives up the kill, but then Camber stays on the Yordle snap trap. Salvo going for it. Now Purple Pickle Pie has to ult in defensively to Balor's getting, but it's interrupted by the cow. Now, Camera, please cut back to bot lane.
God, Direction Camera, you're such a tease. The second it snapped up, I knew, and it didn't go back. That Camera did not die, or nothing else came of that.
Doesn't even blow his summoners there.
No. He's got balls. He's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, I think he's realizing that because he is getting the hell out now.
Yeah. Oh, but the greed prevails. He sees that cannon creep. He wants it.
I've been there, man. Oh, but there's meanwhile a big gank coming up into this top lane. Slow goes down on a Miminomix, now Hecarim speeding on in. Purple gonna be the first target. Now Cruz getting just a ton of damage down with that Swain ult, but as he's flashing aggressively, oh my god, they're so close to wiping Potting Creep off the board, but they don't get any of the kills.
I think we really, instead of like, Matt kind of like charged out that Poppy for a while, I think we'd rather have just seen like him like flash and just do the quick knockup and summon. That would have killed any of them. Yeah,
they did manage to trade Cruz's summoners for 3 flashes though.
Yeah, no, that was way in the advantage. They're also doing a lot of damage onto this top tower. We're gonna see the Shenty come out, and TF looks like he's walking up to try and get an ult down and see if they can get another fight with everyone's positioning. But
I think they were just in case that Coffee House wanted to push that tower down. They were gonna be there, and Coffee House still do maybe want to push this tower down.
Oh, but Shen's gonna dash out.
That was a lot of time committed on the tail end from Cruz and King of Nigs.
How much gold does Cruz have? How do you switch to the gold?
X.
X, thank you.
Ooh, but Mad Cow gets caught. Now Frisky assaulting and battering and oh, but no, Mad Cow flashes out. Now Cruz putting down so much damage. He is hecka fast in for the kill, and now they are putting it down on to Purple.
But Tia's coming in.
Blue card. In, buddy. Blue cards. Oh, Reginald, don't do that. You're on stream.
Dude, at least Reggie hits the champion with it. He blue carded a minion.
Oh, how embarrassing. It's like everything I said about Memenomics being bad at this game was accurate.
Hecka fast.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that's a big slow on the camera because,
Yeah. So, the crazy thing is, Cruz was doing all that damage with just a catalyst. He just goes back, completes the catalyst, turns it into a rod of H's. He's ready to start scaling up. This is gonna be good. I'm excited to see where this is going.
So we haven't been able to talk about CS in a while, but Salvo has started cutting into the deficit he was at, which kind of lines up.
He kind of cut it in earlier, like off the back. It shortened down to like 15, and he's like kind of slowly brought it back overall.
Yeah, but it feels like all those big trades he's been getting have been paying off.
Yeah,
he stopped the bleeding and started turning it around.
Yeah,
and he's got to hit a point in the game where like it is better to be the Jinx than the Caitlyn.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, 2 waves down is still not the greatest place to be, but it's far from bad. God, tank battles in the top lane. So much happens, but nothing really actually happens.
I mean, I feel like if I'm playing this bot lane, if you tell me ahead of the game, 15 minutes, no kills, no turrets, you're just down 12 CS, I would take that every time.
Even if you're the offensive lane that should be bullying?
No, if you're Salvo's lane.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like,
I think that's pretty fair.
They're in a good place.
No, they're in a good place. Yeah.
King of Nigs coming in for another meaningless gank. Gonna step onto a trap. And a lot of defense.
The Shen ult one, and it gets cancelled again. There's been one thing Mad Cow's been on point for. Shen has not gotten to teleport to his ult target.
I feel kind of bad that we haven't seen more of this top lane because I'm sure there's a ton of intricacy in it, but I don't want to bore all the viewers by talking about it.
Yeah, like as much as I joke around about like them just being tanks doing a lot, like there's a ton of counterplay in between both of those champions. Like Poppy can stop the Shen dash. She has like a bunch of different ways to stop Shen from teleporting. And I'm sure the actual like trading mechanics of them is very interesting as well.
It's very interesting if you're a top lane faggot like me, but
yeah,
for most people it's really boring.
About how they trade. I just know that like they trade and things happen.
Yeah, they trade and they both survive and they both face and they come back with full health.
Yeah.
And never trade again. And here comes King of Nigs for the 10th time. Gets
Caitlyn
the
trap.
fear onto camera, steps onto a Caitlyn trap, eats the exhaust, and then now Tristan coming in. He's going to be deep here. He forces a flash out of Salvo, but maybe just a little deep. Oh, King of Nigs is going to just be fast enough to make it out of that one. Actually, I gotta go back. We were talking about this being good for Salvo. Actually, when you talk about how many times King of Nigs has ganked this lane, I think Camera is fine with where he's at.
Camera is way fine. Like
King of Nigs takes too much damage. He takes a stun. He gets killed by Memenomics' tip.
Don't flash Mastery 7 when you've 1-1 as TF at 17 minutes. Get out of here.
Yeah, but in the top lane, Mad Cow is many minutes of pushing and finally pay off as he trades bot kill for a turret.
Yep.
And Cruz should get some good damage in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, we have Memenomics coming up to try and prevent him from getting so much damage on it, but Cruz is ready. Drops a little slow.
Yeah, man. Cruz wants you to walk at him. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, but he gets the gold card and hits a champ.
Camera
they're gonna force Cruz back here. Oh, a second gold card. Oh, Camera gets snared. Oh, Cruz is going too aggressive.
It was a bait though, is the problem. Yeah, there's the flash.
Gets gold carded for the 3rd time in that fight. King of Nigs do not go in. I was nervous.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I got Cruz
hit with.
Oh my goodness! What? What? What?
I would be so upset if I was Cruz.
Yeah! My mind is blown.
You know when you're watching the LCS, like, that's that Jin shot everyone tries to take. But Camera hit it. With a point-click move.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah,
So
wow.
things not looking great for Coffee House now. They're down 3,000 here fairly early. Camera is starting to get pretty big.
Yeah.
And probably most importantly, actually, no, never mind.
You know, it's like we got the top bot lane from POG roading up to this top lane. They're trying to push down a new tower, reversing around. You know, classic things you do when you have a Shen on your team. Especially, just send the Shen in the bot, let them go wild.
Yeah, and this is compared to some of the other Shens we've seen today. Purple's in a pretty good place to play the game. Now, King is going really deep, but he's got to be careful. That Camera puts down a lot of damage, and Camera's going to just casually right-click kill the Hecker in.
You know, like, he doesn't have a tank item, and he has like half health. And you know, I don't know. Yeah, and he knows they have a Shen on their team.
Yeah, I hate to harp on, you know, the bench player Silver 5 this much, but King and Eggs just does not look ready to be playing in the SBL this game. He's literally been behind since he died to that red buff. And
we've definitely seen worse performances from people, but yeah, he has not been having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. It's poor guy, just been very outclassed.
Yeah.
Not even by the opposing jungler, but Camera actually in a bit of danger here as the Jinx rocket gonna blow and Camera cuts back to bot lane. And now Salvo getting hit with the slow. Failed Destiny flashing forward, gets the stun on Salvo, and now the Assaulted Battery comes out. Salvo very low, gonna try to stop, but not gonna be able to live.
Just a little greedy. He got a really good trade and he went forward, and then nice punish from Frisky Senpai.
Yeah, and this is this lead has exploded fast for Pot of Greed.
Yeah. No, this game has gone. Well, it started off as a fairly even game. It's gone downhill very, very quickly. But yeah, God, that play right there was a gorgeous head of Frisky though. Really nice. Just beautiful IQ pulling all the people back together. Purple Picklefy trying to get a little aggressive here.
So if you are, well, not gonna have a chance to ask because King Nig's coming in on the flank. He stops for a second though, but now he ulted, goes forward onto Camera. Camera gonna flash out though. They're gonna have to settle for the Taric, turning and killing Destiny. Kill on the Poppy, but no, they're actually getting some good damage on the Camera. He gets hit by the slow from Salvo, and a shutdown goal going onto Salvo's Jinx.
Don't underestimate getting excited from the Jinx. Are they in a Baron? Like, they have someone that's tanky enough to do it. Oh, they are.
Oh, man. Yeah, they drop a pink. They can clear anything that's... I think they're going to pull off of this. This is a 50-50. This would be nutso. Maybe not with a big gold card on the Cruise. This Baron is shredding everyone, but now the turn happening. Purple Picklefy has to drop the Summoner TP. Memenomics puts out so much fight. Now Purple going ham into this fight. Gonna try to take out Cruise Master. Going to succeed after an awful flash from Cruise. Now Purple Memenomics going for the 2v many as Frisky Senpai comes back in on the re-engage. Oh no, this was a disaster of a Baron. A triple kill for Purple Picklefy, and he is not done. Chasing onto Mad Cow, who's gonna just barely be out of taunt range. Oh, this is gonna be so close. A disaster of a Baron. And now they're gonna give up so much pressure in this mid lane as Camera has arrived. Gonna try to push down an inhibitor turret.
Yeah.
The thing a lot of people don't realize about Baron baits, when you Baron bait, your goal is not to take Baron. It's to force the enemy team in and then turn and fight them.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely not working out.
Bangkok going super ham though. He flashes out of Camera. He's going to draw the Stand United out of Purple Picklefy. But Camera going to survive for just a moment long until Cruise Master finally puts out enough damage. Camera down. Purple Picklefy snared Purple Pickle Pie down, Destiny being chased onto, and just like that, a double kill for Salvo, 3-for-0 in favor of Coffee House.
Oh man, that's really big.
And I don't think they're going back to the Baron this time.
No, this is exactly what Coffee House needed. They get this mid tower here to get even like more gold. They close down to like a 2-3k gold gap. They also get Dragon right afterwards as well. They might even actually get 2 towers depending on what their options are here and what goes down.
Yeah, just in a perfect position.
Yeah. No, like that was exactly how you wanted that fight to go, and like right where you would want it to have happen.
And over these last 2 fights, a ton of these kills have been going on to Salvo. He is now 3-1-3. He's only 500 gold behind behind Cammer, whereas Purple's been the one getting a lot of the kills for his team. And like no one cares about Shen with kills.
Oh yeah, this is perfect. Like they get a dragon. I mean, it's a win streak. Not bad for them though.
They are gonna lose a tower to creeps in the bot lane.
That tower was so low though, it was just basically like just barely hanging on to the little bit of gold that was there.
Yeah, as Salvo mops up a pretty big wave in the bot lane, we cut the gold lead to 3k. Dragons 1 apiece.
Yep. Better dragon, however, is... I'd say Earth is definitely the better dragon to have.
Oh, absolutely.
But... Ekram's definitely one who can appreciate having that. Uh-oh, Cruising Sentry GG.
Nice knock about a Sentry GG.
Beautiful Tornado is just gonna scoop them all, but... Looks like Pot of Greed will pick up this blue buff.
Looks like we're gonna see a good old 5v5 siege coming out here.
Yeah.
And it looks like they want to go in. They
get
the knock on the wall. The camera, it's the give to Camera. Oh no, a double kill for Cruz in the blink of an eye. And now the Rocket can almost kill Fail Destiny. King of Nigs picking up that kill. Memenomics goes down to Salvo. It is everyone but Purple Pickle Pie dead. Oh,
this there they, however, will get, and this will put them in the lead.
Ooh, man. This is, it all starts with the Camera special, man. Just sitting there in a good position, and then suddenly, caught.
Yeah. Which we've actually been seeing a lot of him from this week. Like, he'll start off strong in laning phase, he'll make some pretty good plays, and then come mid-game, he has some rather questionable aggressive positioning. And he's been punished for it.
Yeah, and it's a shame because like once he gets into like fairly late game, he typically plays really well in the more standard 5v5 fights, but in the mid game, he just seems like he is lost for a bit until he gets there, and that was just a huge engage. It wasn't even a flash. Mad Cow just walked up and eat him into the wall. Like, if you're gonna be a star 80 carry, you can't be that out of position that a Poppy can walk up and hit you into a wall like that. That's just
like,
embarrassing.
Poppy didn't even have to probably flash for that. That's one thing, but Poppy just walked out and was like, "Oh hey, look where you are!" Slam.
Yeah, so it looks like Memenomics gonna force the issue, and Coffee House are happy to go for the tower dive. They blow it all onto Failed Destiny to start this fight, but they're finally gonna pick up Salvo unstoppable. Now he's excited going under the turret. Cammer gonna just barely make it out of this fight, but he's gonna die on the tail, and a double kill on his Salvo, who's now turning on this turret. Memenomics going for a base race.
This is game.
That's Baron. That's a big creep wave, and just like that, Salvo gets excited and ends the game. Coffee House improved to 4-1. Do you think Salvo's mixing up Cammer and Mighty Wolf right now?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He definitely is. He's about to say whoops to Twitch chat.
Yeah.
But
but yeah, that was.
I was really irritated. I said during a cast of game one that he wasn't one of the best 280 carries in the league, so he had to come out and have a good game on Jinx. And that was kind of the stereotypical Jinx game. Down a bit. No, Salvo's going back to last season. Typical Salvo.
Oh my god.
All right, who do you want to hear from?
I
feel
want to
like we've
hear
probably heard
from
from Salvo a few times, so we could probably.
Yeah. I want to hear from either. Yeah, if we've heard from Salvo anytime, either Cruz, Scarl, Mad Cow, or Sensory. Any of those, I'd be fine with hearing from, honestly.
All right, so we're gonna pull the Cruise Master
Yeah,
here because
let's
I have a
grab the young Cruz.
really burning question I want to ask him.
He's had a good season, and we haven't. I don't think we've had him in here. So
I don't know if we have either.
Oh.
Fortunately, I don't have to tell this guy what the password to the channel is because he knows it.
User joined your channel.
There he is, Cruise Master. All right,
Hello.
so I got a really important question I need to ask you. How did you feel when King and Niggs took your second blue buff? Or took the second blue buff, your first?
You know, I don't really notice it anymore. Like, I don't expect blue buffs ever. And, you know, Swain passive's, like, surprisingly strong when you actually last hit. So, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even notice.
Fair enough. How'd it feel getting that first blood, though, at, like, level 2?
I loved it, especially because of who it was.
So, going back to the King and Niggs thing, going into this game, I thought it was going to be really rough for you guys. I get the impression that Dub Drum is a gigantic part of your team, and the way you guys were falling behind in the mid game, it was easy to say, like, oh, well, they don't have Dub Drum, now they're just all shitting the bed. How did your team kind of stay collected? Because you turned it around pretty fast.
Well, we had kind of a rocky start, kind of back and forth in the beginning, and then there was that like section where there was a couple top, they got a kill there. Shen went bottom, and we didn't match him, and he just pushed that in, and we were just like shit on rotations. And then TF got mid tower, and they're like, shit, we're just falling apart here. So like reset. What is our goal? What is our objective right now? And that's when we started grouping as 5, and we just kept picking camo with Poppy. That was just our basic mindset.
All right, so one last question. We'll go a little bigger picture here. I feel like this isn't the last time or the first time I've said this, but going into this season, I really thought you were going to be one of the worst players in the league. And you've been, like, I wouldn't even say quiet. I feel like every cast has been hyping you up a ton. You've been having a really good season. I don't think you've been practicing a whole lot. So how does it feel to be, through this first round robin, you've been 4-1, really valuable role player, and, like, not just getting shit on mid every week?
I think it's more the team than anything. I think this team just works well together. Normally we have Dub Drum who wants to dive, and he plays tanks sometimes, and then you got Mad Cow who you don't think plays tanks, but he plays tanks a lot. He'll build the bruisers a lot, and it's just you have a really strong front line between those two, and then you have Jaina and heals for everyone. If you remember last week, he saved my ass from dying from being picked out by that Ash arrow. And I think it's just the team, and I'm allowed to shine because I don't have to carry or even think about carrying. I just get to sit back and peel or follow up CC on everything.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that hits all our bases here, so congrats again. You guys are now 4-1, and more importantly, you prevented the potential 3-way tie for second place.
Thank God.
Yep.
So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. So that is halfway through our regular season. So thank you to everyone that has tuned in and all that jazz. We will see you next week.
User left your